One of the biggest challenges for education, public education in particular, is the issue of funding. And right now, as you know, we're going through a very difficult time, nationally, globally, and even down to the state level. And ultimately, all these things affect school systems like Santa Ana Unified. Unfortunately, what has happened historically over the ages is that the arts haven't always been supported through patrons. When things get tough in the public systems, unfortunately, we end up having to look to our obligations. One of the biggest obligations we have in public schools is meeting the federal requirements of No Child Left Behind. And the big focus areas there are language arts and mathematics. Different focus for the high schools, but those are the big areas. And that's where all the resources tend to be put in, because those are the things that we're held accountable to. So the arts aren't something we test. You know, we don't measure. We don't necessarily make that a requirement of graduating from high school. You know, you have to take electives, of course, but you know there are other things you can take other than say music classes. So unfortunately, those are the things that end up getting cut. Right now, we're working to preserve some degree of the arts in our school board this summer, and looking at cuts for the district. Put music in particular at the top of the list and trying to protect it. We know the arts are one of those types of hooks, if you will, that keeps kids engaged and involved in schools, and sometimes it's one area in which the kids can excel, see some success, and in doing so they are more likely just to continue and complete their graduation requirements. So that is one of our focuses, is try to maintain those programs for kids, so they really do see the connection and value to staying in school and staying connected. School districts that are more affluent areas oftentimes have the benefit of foundations, rich donors, families that provide those types of resources to the schools and the community. As an example, over Irvine, they wanted to maintain class size reduction. Class size reduction is a program that the state provides some level of funding for schools to keep numbers of students down to 20-to-1 ratio, 20 kids to 1 teacher. But it's a program that isn't fully funded. So what Irvine does, and has been doing, I'm not sure if they did it this past year, but they actually would raffle off a house, you know, and from the proceeds of that raffling of an entire house, a home, they would provide the funds to the school district to continue class instruction. We don't have those types of resources in Santa Ana. What we do have are students, it's a relatively, generally speaking, poorer area, and what typically happens is when you cut the arts for kids in a community such as Santa Ana, it's a double whammy, because the kids not only lose out on that those tools and those components of the curriculum that engage them, and they can help them academically, but they're relegated to simply the academic stuff, the reading and writing, which is important. But we sometimes, as educators, as a system in general, we fail to recognize that the arts are a good way to promote academics and to teach academic language and academic skills.